According to a recent study in the archives of general psychiatry, teenage eating disorders have risen. They examined over 10,000 students between the ages of 13 and 18 to find how common it has become to have an eating disorder and associated behaviors. The study concluded that the teenagers have many of the symptoms but do not meet all the criteria that fit a diagnosis of being anorexic or bulimic. However, 1.6% of the teenagers have experienced binge eating disorders. Another upsetting finding was that the median age for either disorders was 12. These disorders could lead to long-lasting effects, and unfortunately, these teenagers are not getting enough proper care and education about healthy eating habits. Many have been blaming the media for this uprise in eating disorders for the youth.
Midstate's Tara Jabbari recently went to presentations discussing this issue and possible solutions.
Haircuts, our manicures, pedicures, facials.
Dr. Jackie Hogan from the Sociology Department at Bradley University held a presentation towards the end of February to discuss the high cost of beauty. The presentation showed the statistics of how much money and attention is spent on beauty in America a year. The government in the past year spent $50 billion more on diet research than on cancer and AIDS research combined. Meanwhile, consumers have spent billions of dollars on cosmetics and clothes when that money could have helped the homeless or financial aid for higher education. The goal of the presentation was to prove that there is still a problem with how Americans, and particularly the youth in high school and college, treat weight and the way a person looks. Dr. Hogan wants the audience to not only be aware of the attention advertisements and media make, but how much the people themselves do. People do not take the time to actually express the concerns in a serious manner. Babette Jameson, an audience member and student at Bradley University, agrees with the presentation about the lack of speaking on body objectification.
I believe American society is definitely one that tends to avoid, but I do think that this cause of awareness of dysfunctional ad campaigns, that's been a cause that's been talked about for decades. So we're still working on it. It's probably going to be a long journey.
Among the speakers was the university's Student Health Services Medical Care and Counseling, urging the audience to express concerns on the youth's perspective on body image.
Tonight's presentation was about stopping the fat talk and really talking about the issue. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Tara Jabbari.